Hi, Nicole Munoz here, and I'd like to ask you a question. Are you ready to have your best year ever? I know I am. Today is January the 2nd of 2015. It is our second video of the year. If you haven't seen the video from yesterday, you might want to do that first. Yesterday's video from January the 1st, we talked about goal setting, and we talked about the 3 types of goals that every entrepreneur should have in their online business, which are going to be related to revenue, leads, and prospects. So if you haven't watched that video, you might want to hit pause and go back and see that one first, because today we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. So yesterday we talked about how important it is to set your 3 goals, but we also talked about how goals are different from strategies and strategies are different from tactics. So today we're going to go a little bit more into how to create strategies to achieve your goals. So first off, what's the difference between a goal and a strategy and a tactic? Well, what I like to always try to remember is a goal you cannot actually delegate to somebody. You cannot assign a goal to somebody. The goal is the result that you want to have in your business. So for example, in our goal setting exercise yesterday, we discussed how a goal might be to increase revenue of your company by doubling the revenue of your company in the next 12 months. Well, that's not something that you can actually delegate to somebody. You cannot say, hey Joe, I'm hiring you to delegate the revenue of my company over the next 12 months. You can't delegate that. You can't assign that. But that is a goal. That is something that you want to achieve. It's a SMART goal. It's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. But it's not something, it's not a strategy. So the next thing, now that we have set our top 3 goals, which are always in business going to be related to revenue, leads, and prospects, the next step is to identify between 3 to 5, maybe 7 different strategies that you're going to be implementing over the next 12 months to help you to achieve each of those 3 goals. So remember, in the company we have just 3 goals. And now we're going to talk about, we're going to set up strategies of how we can achieve those goals. So what you want to do is we have a goal setting worksheet that we're going to make available to you. So you're going to be able to download that. So if you want, you can go ahead and just take a moment and download the goal setting worksheet. It's our free gift to you. And on that worksheet, you're going to see that there's a place for you to put in your 3 goals. And so those 3 goals, again, are revenue, leads, and prospects. And then right next to that, there's a place for you to write in different strategies. Now, this is the tricky part, and this is where you might have to spend a little time thinking, because sometimes you might write down and say, well, this is a strategy, this is a method that this is something I'm going to be doing to help me achieve a goal. But once you start to write down maybe 4, 5, 6 other strategies, you realize, oh, well, this strategy actually doesn't belong under the revenue generating goal. It belongs actually under the lead generation goal, or it belongs under the prospect setting goal. So you might find that you need to move things around a little bit as you develop your strategies. So what the next step is that you identify, you look at your goals and you say, okay, if I'm going to generate double my revenue over the next 12 months, what are some strategies that are very specific to generating revenue that I want to implement, where I think, I know that if I implement these strategies, I will achieve this goal. So for example, as it's related to revenue, maybe we're going to say, well, my sales process needs to be improved a little bit. Maybe I need to improve my deliverables. Maybe I need to improve my sales presentation. Maybe I need to hire a sales rep. Maybe I need to hire a sales manager. Maybe I need to set up a commission structure for a sales team. So those would be all strategies related to achieving that goal of generating revenue for your company. So, and in each section, you have the goals. We want to develop 3 strategies at least under each of the goals. And then the next step is for each strategy, we want to think of what's the very next step. Now, if I was to say, for example, I want to set up a sales team, well, there's a lot of other tasks that are going to have to be done to build up to having a sales team. So having a sales team might be a 9-month goal or a 10-month goal. But what we want to do is we want to set ourselves up for success. So what we want to do is we want to figure out, okay, what is the next thing that I need to do just in the next 30 days? Like, what's the very next actionable step? What's the next like 2-3 steps for each of these strategies that'll help me to move forward? And so on the next column you're going to see on the goal setting worksheet is tactics. So that's where you're going to actually write down the next steps. Like, these are the action items, and now the tactics are what you can actually delegate to yourself, or if you have a team, to your team member, and you can also establish due dates for your tactics. So what you're going to do now is going to go ahead and download the goal setting worksheet, fill it out with your top 3 goals, put in at least three strategies. You could have up to 7 maybe strategies for each goal. And then for each strategy, map out at least the 3 next steps, like the very next thing you need to do to start to have progress, to move on each of those strategies. And then after that, you might want to take this worksheet, print it out, put it on the wall, have it in front of you, but it's not just good enough just to write it all down. That's a very good step for goal setting. The next step is to set up weekly, monthly, and quarterly meetings with yourself to review your goals and to see where you're going with progress. And that's what we're going to talk about in our next video. We're going to talk about how to set up a system to measure your goals so you can make sure that you're progressing and that you just didn't set these goals at the beginning of 2015 and the whole year passes and no progress has been done. So look for that. We'll be getting that video out tomorrow on how to measure progress on your goals. In the meantime, make sure you download your goal setting worksheet, and we'll see you tomorrow.